Alright guys, welcome to another stream. We have a really interesting match here. So we have Kingsley versus Cody coming up. Kingsley, who has been joining me as my co-caster for a lot of these matches, will be playing, so it's Dragon versus Crab, and I have someone from Crab Chat. I have Sideshow, the welcome bot. Many of
Hello.
you, many of you have seen him posting everywhere.
I do in fact not. I do in fact live on this server.
That's very reasonable. I think a lot of us spend too much time on the server. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at decks real quick before the match starts. They should be starting in about 5 minutes. So we have, we're looking at the crab list here. We have a pretty standard crab list, I think. After the meta has settled, we have Iron Mine, the whole keep your character alive theme going. Standard Unicorn Splash, Talisman of the Sun, Spyglass. He does have 3 Wayfinders.
Well, three wayfinders is kind of standard now too. It's usually a question of do you want the 1x Gaijin or the 3x wayfinder.
That's fair. And Wayfinder is going to help him a lot in this match because Dragon's Province Row is so strong. You really need to make sure that you don't run into a problem province at the wrong time.
And also, it plays into his tech right now, which is 2 Cloud the Mind.
Yep. And having 3 of your Shugenja be in your conflict deck means you can kind of sculpt your Cloud Divines a little bit better. So you can, it's kind of like a for shame combo where the turn that you want to Cloud Divine, you also play your character.
Yep. He also is running 2x Mountain Does Not Fall, which is interesting to see.
Yeah. It's pretty strong in this matchup because other than Neaton Adept, which is not very good in this matchup. Dragon does not have that much bow tech, so it's not like playing against Lion where they can LPV you after you mountain. So it might be, the third one might be missed here.
Also, he's playing 3 Bonsai, which is I find a little weird as always sticking at 2.
He doesn't have Tetsubos though, so he doesn't have Tetsubos or Fine Katana, so he really needs melee buffs from somewhere. I know. Oh god.
I have found with Crab that it is fine. I've played a deck before with no Katana, no Tetsubo, 2 Bonsai, and I still overwhelmed in Crab against anything that wasn't Lion.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, Crab's military stats are so lopsided on a lot of their characters. Like we just 3 1s, 4 2s, Kasada being a 7 2.
Yeah, Kasada is the whole reason why, because if you can charge your Kasada with, like, Iron Mines out, you never need another military
Yeah,
buff.
like there's just games where you charge him on turn 1 and he never leaves 5 turns later.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Kingsley's list here. It's the list that he published actually. It is the exact same 80 that I am playing in the tournament. It's pretty standard. Dragon Crab, Splashing Pathfinder's Blades, Repriese, and 2 Skirmishers. So he's got. Oh god.
I'm not even sure I would call it pretty standard, because it's pretty much the standard.
That's fair.
Crab.
Yeah, I mean it is like the Kingsley deck, right? Like I mean he is the standard right now for Dragon players. One thing to watch out for Cody is charge plays. So we did recently add charge to the deck. 1, it's a combo with Reprieve, and 2, it has some pretty sick combos with Kitsuki Yaruma.
Yoruma and Sumiko.
Yep. Charging Sumiko when you have the favor is real lit. 2 Cloud the Mind. It's pretty much it's very standard. I mean, it's just a really solid, strong deck. And then of course, Dragon's Province Row is the real strength of the clan. I mean, Seeker of Fire. I think Seeker of Fire Dragon might be the strongest Province Row or second strongest Province Row behind Seeker of Void Phoenix.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what a Seeker Fire Crab could do with Iron Mines for the Feast of Famine and just general
So you
board
run
control.
you just run Feast or Famine, Meditations.
Yeah, and it'd be all fate control, and also because with Iron Mines, your characters tend to stick at 0 fate for Feast or Famine.
Oh, that's true. So that's pretty sick, actually. And then Crab could actually run their own card. Finally, Pathfinder's Blade.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still think that Crisis Breaker is stronger than Pathfinders, but
I think it's
closer
it's a push. Like I mean, I think Crab could survive being either Keeper or Seeker.
Oh yeah, I think Crab, out of all the clans, got the strongest Keeper Seeker cards.
I would agree. I think I think realistically that the combination of Talisman plus Crisis Breaker pushes Keeper over the edge.
That's what, like, I know Joe loves his Keeper initiates, but I don't. I couldn't care either way. I'm Keeper because Talisman, Backhand, and Crisis.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see if these guys have the game up. I'm gonna go ahead and check. Yep. So their game is up. So if you wanna go ahead and join it,
Yep.
let me
I
ask
realize
Kingsley
I
the
don't
password.
have
The
Jigoku online.
the password is Discord.
Joe's list. Oh.
Nick's in chat giving me the classic. We have the newbie perspective being me, and we have expert commentary from Sideshow. Wow, just shade after shade after shade, man.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't even play Crab, right? I just hang out in Crab chat because it's amazing. Okay, so Sideshow's here. Looks like we're ready to go.
Yep. Jigoku sometimes decides to log you out, and it's really annoying. But
Really,
yeah.
I have not run into that. I could definitely see it happening.
I mean, it's also because I'm running a server computer, so it doesn't turn off ever.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
So,
All right, so we're gonna see who's gonna win the die roll. As Crab, do you want to play first or second normally?
second, always second.
Okay.
And it looks like Cody got that.
Yeah, because Kingsley also always wants to play second, so it's very easy to tell who won the die roll.
Yeah. Second is better in this game. Like, the one fate for second could have not been existed, and it was still second is better.
Really? You think so? I think it
Yeah.
depends on the clan. Like, so if the fate didn't exist,
Well,
then
if the fate didn't exist, it's a little less unanimous. But, like, with the fate, it's every clan except maybe
Lion.
Unicorn or Lion wants to go second.
Yeah, Lion with Lion's Pride Brawler going first can really have powerful turns.
Yeah. Because, see, as Crab, you're wanting to be able to do that second conflict after your opponent.
And
Like,
Mountain is much stronger going second also.
Mountain Does Not Fall, Crisis Breaker are both cards that increase in value so much more when you are going second.
So what are you looking for if you're the Crab player here? What against Dragon? What is your ideal flop?
My ideal flop usually is an Envoy and a Witch Hunter with 2 Fate.
Okay.
Against Dragon, I haven't played much against them in this new meta, but looking at that flop with, like, maybe buying 2 Borderlands Defenders, depending on what his hand is, isn't the worst.
If he has a charge, he could buy 1 Borderlands Defender with 2, pass, and then charge the Shuichi.
Which would be ideal. And he might be bidding 5 here if he does not have a charge right now.
So Dragon plays this so Crab forces every clan to play very different against it because specifically of Way of the Crab. It just kind of warps the game around this one card. And so Dragon's traditional style is to usually just... Oh, he's going first, so he can buy Retsugu.
Yeah. See, what Crab wants to do, and what the Crab versus Dragon matchup is always revolved around, is an Assassinate Way of the Crab. If it happens, Dragon's dead. If it doesn't end up happening anytime, then Crab's usually losing the game.
I wonder if he buys both these ones with no fate.
He might just buy the,
He probably buys Mendicant with 0 fate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and then just have the 1 fate for, like, a Daisho.
Mendicant's really strong also with a holding in play, because after you see your 3, you can determine if any of those are better than the Palace here.
Oh, he's buying Suchi, so he probably doesn't have a charge in hand.
Or he does, and he prefers having actual fate on Shuichi? I mean, I think...
Well, I guess with Ragutsu, you don't want to have 0 fate characters, because that burns your Iron Mine.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Retsugu is the only character right now that can duel to kill.
Which makes him really strong.
So, Cody is playing 2 Assassination, so it is very reasonable. Oh, wow. Kingsley does not buy... Could we see a draw... Do you think we could see a draw step? Skirmisher Way of the Crab?
If it happens, I'd be ecstatic, but what I could see more often is by charging defender Way of the Crab.
Okay. So we see Kingsley bidding 5. Kingsley has been on record saying he would bid 5 until he can't. Cody does a more conservative 3, which I think Spectre was saying that he likes to do 2 and 3 now.
The thing about Crab is even when you're giving up dishonor pressure, your conflict deck is average compared to most clans. And so you can't really sustain a bid 5 against bid 5 every turn.
So we see a Fine Katana on the right Sugu here. The Crab player not having any military attachments could come to bite him here against Right Sugu, who can duel away Fate. So
just depends on how much Iron Mines we see this game.
Wow. So Kingsley Kingsley and I have discussed this matchup, and like let going Spyglass is good, but the Reprieve and Talisman are actually like higher priority. I think because Cody bid 3 here, Kingsley values taking the Spyglass offline.
Yeah, if I'm Dragon, not being, Kingsley level Dragon, but if I were the Dragon, I would usually at least make sure I always have 1 Let Go in hand in case a Talisman drops.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if I'm Dragon here, I'm going Void or Fire. Oh, is Kingsley going Earth? That's so confident.
Probably wanting the Shuchi to defend, who doesn't.
Oh, and he faceplants Shameful.
Or sorry, he hasn't chosen yet. Yeah, so this is gonna be really bad, as that's now a 5/5 Shuichi.
Well, so because Crab is Keeper of Earth, this is a fate. This also represents a fate for Crab.
Oh yeah, there's no reason for Shuichi not to defend here, because Shuichi also gains the fate because there's a holding in play.
The way Cody's played this turn, it feels like he's got a mountain.
Yeah, no, this definitely feels like a mountain, especially since he's going second.
Yep. I could see, especially with that Spyglass. Oh, that would have been the mountain here. So Shuichi replaces the fate from. There's 2 holdings in play, so regardless, Shuichi will have a target.
And then if he wins it, he gets the Keeper of Earth.
Yeah, he gets the Keeper of Earth fate, so he can go up to 3 fate. That's so good. We see there's fan here.
So, in other words, he's blocking from policy debate because he's scared of it, as you should be.
I think you can still debate here if you wanted, because you're up 5 to 4.
Yeah. Well, he's at 3 now.
Oh, sorry, 5 to 3. Yeah, I mean, you could then bid 4 and give up 3 honor to see their hand. I think I would do that.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna see a stronghold activation from the Dragon player.
Oh yeah, if he's gonna play policy debate, he should do it now before that stronghold activates. And he's probably thinking about it right now.
Yeah, and Cody is playing 3 policy debates, so he's very likely it's very reasonable for him to have one.
Nope, he doesn't have it. Or at least he's not thinking if he is.
Alright, so Dragon boxes, Crab counters of the box, so it's 6 to 6.
And this is why you don't let go to...
Yep, and Cody asks him, do you have another let go? And
yep, there it goes.
Okay, so Kingsley does play it correctly, so like you said, he's not going to just throw it. That's very strong to have 2 let goes this early. Let go is probably... let go and Fury are like the 2 best cards in this matchup out of the conflict deck, I think.
And Shuichi still needs to use his ability. I wonder if Cody realizes that.
I think Cody will. I mean, I don't think you make it to the round of 32 without doing that. Kingsley commenting on how he got lucky seeing 2 let goes in his top 9 cards. Yep, and Cody is exactly right. So when you're playing Crab, like, your opponent's gonna have let go, and all you have to do is you keep playing attachments into it, and once they run out of let goes, then you're in the clear. Yeah, the players are just commenting about let go and its priority in the matchup. I think the biggest key card in this matchup actually. So when I play this matchup, it's pretty favorable. I think Dragon's slightly favored, but this card called Karada District. When that card shows up, it really like tilts the matchup so hard.
The thing about Karate District is you need the staple of Crab has to be in a position where they're not behind on Fate.
Sure,
'Cause
sure.
if they're behind on Fate, Karate does 0.
It depends on what you're trading for. If you're karateing for ancestral weapons, it's not that bad. Or like attachments that cost 1, like reprieve and stuff.
Yeah, like I'm happy to karate a reprieve or something like that. But if I'm already behind on Fate, like my board is doing pretty bad, my hand is I can't pay for my hand, then karate showing up is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's true. You do need to be there. So Cody's in the tank a little bit, trying to figure out what he wants to do. Based on how he's played this turn, it feels like he does not have a policy debate.
Yeah.
We could see. We need to see Cody activate his Shuichi, and then we could see a mountain still. So we see a bonsai.
Probably spending the honor. Yeah.
Okay, so he kicks it. So it's +4 now. So it is 10-6. It looks like.
Yes. Well, 10 in the favor of the Crab.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. 6-10 then. Yeah. That's. So Kingsley has passed. He's given up this conflict. So.
Use Sushi. No, he doesn't use Sushi.
But he does get the Keeper of Earth Fate. But that's a pretty big misplay from Cody. He really needed to get that Fate from Shuichi.
Yep.
He is running Manicured Garden, so he does have he's running the Fate gaining province instead of the drawing card one. Now does Kingsley have a conflict character is the question, or does Cody have a conflict character? Because
I could easily see a skirmisher right
you could
here.
skirmisher into water.
Yep.
The real danger of doing that is if you run into Feast or Famine and Kingsley buffs your skirmisher to break it.
Nope, they both passed their conflicts.
All right, that was a very uneventful turn 1.
Especially because he did not use that Sushi.
So
I gotta yell at him later for that.
don't worry, man. Everyone has seen it. Now the real question is, what if? Oh, the Imperial Palace. Yeah. Okay. So Kingsley doesn't even lose favor.
Imperial Palace could have easily been like +2 glory. 3 is like
Yeah,
so
I think 3 was
much.
a little overkill. It's just so hard to lose favor when you have it.
Like even if you don't declare both attacks and don't defend your conflicts, they still get favor. Because they only get 2 rings to be able to take.
Yeah, you have to basically leave a guy also.
Yeah.
Okay, so he does pitch it. This is a pretty good flop actually for Dragon. With 10 Fate, he can just spam little guys here.
Yeah. And there goes
Initiate is quite good against Crab. Like it's just a cheap 3/3.
and if Cody has a charge, that Kasada's coming out. But otherwise, I would recommend just getting a Crisis Breaker plus Shurisuke.
Okay, so you buy a breaker with 2 and Shuichi or Yusuke with 1 or Yusuke 0.
If I buy Crisis with 2, it's probably going to be Yusuke with 0 against Dragon.
He does have this Shuichi to get him a Fate if he remembers.
Yeah. Well, he should be at 9 Fate right now, and in that case, I would
Then
have
you
said
could then you could do Yusuke with 1 and still have 1 left. We'll see how badly this 1 Fate snowballs. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, like it sounds like we're nitpicking, but like 1 Fate in this game is actually pretty huge. Just the difference between
especially in the matchup of Dragon versus Crab.
Yeah.
Any Fate advantage is so important.
So he just buys Kasada too, and he's gonna go for the quick pass.
Which gives Kingsley the ability to buy his row.
Currently Kingsley, like, this is not a Way of the Crab match. Like, Kingsley is not scared at all.
Well, because he didn't play a turn 1, or else it would be.
Yeah, like if Cody had draw step, skirmish or Way of the Crab, that would have been so sick.
Though you wouldn't have had the honored Suchi, which is important.
That's true.
And a lot of people say Shameful Display is greedy in Crab, and that play is why I disagree.
I think there's arguments for both. I definitely don't think that it's wrong to play Shameful Display, but especially with Talisman of the Sun.
Yeah. No, with Talisman, Shameful Display has no deck drop, because it goes from 3 strength to whatever your next holding is. Like, going to Shameful to defend the wall is game winning.
Shameful's pretty sick also because it shores up a lot of your political matchups. It's really good against Scorpion and Crane because of you want to dishonor the Scorpion courtiers, and you want to keep the Crane characters from not being honored. So it's
Yep.
really strong there. So let's see.
Yeah, like I said, he's just gonna buy his row.
Yeah, Cody is running Defend the Wall. So Cody's running, his row is going to be Manicured Garden, Defend the Wall, Meditations, and Shameful, and he has Rally under his box.
And that's the way to do it. I would personally do Riot instead of Rally.
Yeah, I've been trying Riot, and I really like Riot.
Like, Riot and Rally are both some of the most blank provinces, but Riot is just ever so slightly less blank than Rally.
The only matchup where Rally I think is better than Riot is against Lion.
Yeah, like Lion or... Because when you're going... Because the problem with Rally right now is that two clans want to be honored at all times. And so when you flip the type of conflict, then it doesn't change their stats much.
And then the other problem also with Rally is when it's open decklist like that is right now, like your opponent knows it's Rally, so they're just not going to send all their guys into it blindly.
Yeah. And you run into the other problem. As Crab, you never want to change it to political unless they, for some reason, are all, attacking with like 4-1s.
So Kingsley bids 5 again, Cody bids 3 again.
And there's the third let go on Spyglass.
Alright. And then also a Swordsmith took Pathfinder's Blade.
Yeah. The fact he drew all 3 let goes is really going to tilt this matchup to Dragon's favor.
Yes and no. If Cody has drawn the second talisman, he can just stick that talisman in play forever now.
Yes, but that all depends on drawing that second talisman.
That's fair. And not having these spyglasses hurts. It's also every single one of these Lekos has been fate positive for the dragon player. He's traded 0 for 1 every single time.
Yep. Let go is an amazing card.
It is. I don't think it's overpowered. I just think it is what it is. Like I just think it's a card that exists.
I think Let Go is fine. It probably should have been 3 influence, but otherwise I'm fine with what Let Go is.
Sure. Yeah, I think influence is the easiest way to change some cards.
Same with Mirmo's Fury. If both of those were 3 influence, a lot of the people's problem with the Dragon Splash would be solved.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of you don't even see Dragon Splash that often anymore. You think Soto thinks Let Go should cost 1? I disagree, Soto. I mean, like Calling in Favors costs 1, and Calling in Favors lets you steal the attachment.
I think Let Go maybe should have cost like 1 less than the attachment that you're taking out, or something like that. That way, like the 2 cost attachments still could be played.
What about an honor cost on Let Go? Like one honor or something, like a
1 honor is too little. Like maybe
2 honor.
Like 2 honor maybe would be better. But it's then you run into problems if it's in a clan that has absolute 0 care for honor.
That's fair.
I will agree that maybe some of the cancels in this game should cost 1. Like, I find Forged Edict to have pretty much 0 cost.
Yeah.
But,
Alright, let's see what's happening here. So Cody's tanking. It is his first conflict. What do you think about passing your first conflict? Oh, we saw Cloud the Mine, by the way. Cloud the Mine on Shuichi.
Cloud Mine on Suichi and place the Spyglass, so now he'll never get that 1 fate he forgot.
Now, he can't covert pass anyone. Do you just pass your first conflict if you're Crab?
I don't know. Well, like let's think about what provinces he could hit here. He could hit Feast or Famine, which would be game over.
Yeah, he doesn't have a favorable ground.
Yeah, he could hit Restoration of Balance, or is he playing Meditation?
No, he's playing Resto. Trust me, he's playing Resto.
And that wouldn't be too bad for the Crabber in this situation.
I mean, it wouldn't be great. Like discarding 2 cards and giving the Dragon player a fate is a big deal, and you just walk into Fury.
Yeah.
It's very realistic that Kingsley has seen at least 1 Fury in 15 cards.
Well, with 3 Let Goes.
That's true. I mean, look, I'm just playing the numbers here.
Yeah.
Kingsley's been running hot. I'm assuming he's still running hot. Cody doesn't care though. He's just going in. What ring do you contest? Void probably.
At this point, I would do Void because you want to save your Casada because you're probably going to look to Voltron him now that all the Let Goes are out of the game.
Yep, and also every single one of Kingsley's characters has 1 fate right now.
And there's the Restoration of Balance.
Yeah. I'm with Heinz. This is a really risky. There's a 25% chance to lose the game.
Yeah. No, that was a pretty risky play, but
Hey, 20, I mean, Cody played the odds. 75% chance to hit a province hero K attacking.
I mean, Meditations of the Tau even wouldn't have been that good to hit. Or,
Well,
well,
he's not
not
playing
Meditations. He's
Meditations.
not playing Meditations.
The row is it's Feast or Famine, Resto, Shameful Display, and Manicure Garden.
Yeah, Shameful Display would have hurt. Manicure Garden wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, so
Well,
Resto and Manicure Garden were the lesser of four evils. So Cody discards a fan and a charge. This is
he had a charge in his hand, so why did he hard play Casada?
I mean, maybe he doesn't have a reprieve or anything.
He could have also just drawn the charge too.
Yeah, that's true. In draw step. He is doing a political attack, by the way.
Yeah, no. I agree with it, because you have Casada.
Oh yeah, so you can protect against court games. You can force the dragon player to box.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heinzel, I kind of agree with that, but you do give up fate on rings, and since Kingsley will get first player, he will then get to claim the two fate off of the rings. I don't disagree with your line though. I think both lines have some merit. I think this is a riskier play, but
it can pay off more.
It depends on what's in Crab's hand. Like if Crab has a talisman here, it could be huge.
Cody is probably in a position where he's thinking he's already losing this game, so he needs to play risky in order to get back.
I wouldn't say he's losing. I think Cody. I think the board is even. I honestly think that the players are even right now.
It looks pretty even when you look at it objectively. But if sitting in the Crab's chair right now, I would be a little scared.
That's fair. I think hitting restoration. I think I don't feel that bad. Like I think I like kind of I escaped this unscathed. Is how I look at it.
Yeah, and here's going to be a Mirabo's Fury. Because he just castled to cancel Casada.
Yep, okay, so we're going to see a Fury then. Now, does he have another charge? Oh no, it's a political conflict, oh no. He could have a Wayfinder.
Yep, there's Mirabo's.
Yep, now do we have a Wayfinder? Come on, Cody, you can't give that face. You knew what was coming. This is the matchup. This is why this matchup is hard for Crab.
Yeah, no, because Mirabo's Fury has no restriction against Crab. It's a one-cost Bala character.
Yep.
And then he already drew his 3 Luckos. This has been insane draw for Kingsley.
Yeah, Cody has not seen a Witch Hunter either. Witch Hunter is the one way to kind of get around Mirabo's Fury. And so if the conflict has no winner, Casada's still on, right?
Yeah, Casada will still be on. Because it's as if the conflict never happened.
Okay. Yeah, so Heinzel's in chat is saying this is the problem also. Like, if you just sit back and defend, you can buy more characters, and you don't run this risk.
I don't even know if you'd be able to buy more characters because you're giving up fate.
Ozil, the fate count in this matchup is really important because Dragon's conflict deck is really good, and a lot of it costs 1. So like
this is a matchup where the Crab wants to play out a dynasty and the Dragon wants to play out a conflict.
Yep.
And so they're both playing super heavy, expensive decks, and one side or the other.
Dragon does have some expensive characters in Dynasty side. Yokuni, Neaton Master, and Sumiko. So
Dragon wants to Voltron, which takes fate, and
Yep.
Crab wants to be able to set up and grow big.
So we see a Pathfinder's Blade on Raitsugu here. I wonder he's just gonna probably go after Shameful now because he doesn't have to worry about the activation of it, and he can just blow up this Iron Mine.
Yep. Well, we might see a Talisman if this is political, or if it is military. Casada will just step in.
Do we think he has a? Cody could have another charge. Like he could have 2 charges and charge this breaker in.
Well, if he had another charge, I'd be really surprised that he hard-buyed Casada.
Really?
Unless, again, he drew
like,
two. Like, unless he drew both of them this turn, I'd be really surprised if he had a charge already at hand and bought Casada.
That's fair. Yeah, Luke in chat here is giving a good example. Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, no, Crab versus Dragon is the ultimate stalemate until one person gets about 3 fate over the other.
One thing to note though is fate advantage it only means so much. Like when you have 5 fate, getting a single fate afterwards, it's not as meaningful as when you go from like 1 to 2 or 0 to 1.
Yep, and of course you need cards in hand to be able to spend that fate, or
Yep.
a good flop to actually spend that fate. Because if you flop all envoys, then having a lot of fate does nothing. And there goes Covert, so this will be a military conflict.
Yep. Yeah. Tattoo Wanderer, another 1-cost guy. I could see. I get to see Kingsley just going void.
Yeah.
So you go after Shameful, you void the Shuichi, and if your opponent doesn't have reprieve, he's gonna die.
Yep.
Yeah, Luke makes a good point. If you're too cautious and you end up not being able to spend all your fate efficiently, you actually end up being behind because you just have not been spending your. It's basically like having money and not spending it and then dying.
Yeah. This matchup is really it's a matchup of who can get the most fate on characters.
Yeah,
on
this matchup is very attrition-y. Both players are gonna just try and keep their boards around longer, and the Dragon player just has a better conflict deck. That's a better conflict deck and better provinces.
See, Dragon right now has the best conflict deck. I don't think anyone would disagree.
I think
with
Scorpion's conflict deck is quite strong.
Yeah, Scorpion's is getting there, but I think Dragon is just a little over them right now.
Well, the thing is, Dragon's conflict deck is so strong because it's playing 9 or 8 crab cards.
Well, it's playing the crab cards, but it's also the fact that it has Let Go, Mirmo's Fury, Tattooed Wanderer.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it has reprieves to stick around characters. Pathfinder's Blade is pretty good, I hear.
Yep.
Like you have your Ancestral Die shows to always have a weapon.
A weapon, yeah, that's fair. So
Dragon's and clan cards in core are pretty up there.
So we see political attack here, Covert and Casada on Earth. Kingsley is just hammering this hand advantage. He let go of the spyglasses, and he is just wants to make sure that he's up on cards.
See, if I were Kingsley, I would not have covered Casada, because I'd have been happy if Casada defended on political. Like, just give the person a chance to make that mistake.
It's not if Cody has Mountain. Cody did have a charge. Yep, Cody did have a charge. See, I told you.
Yeah, he had 3 charges. That's the third charge we saw, right?
No, that's the second one.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm really surprised that he hard-buyed Casada then.
Well, no, because this is a situation that happens right here. If you don't have a reprieve effect or something, Casada just dies.
Yeah. But you're also getting 4 fate to buy on other things.
That's true. I mean, maybe he just wants Casada. This is...
We were just talking about, like, why fate advantage is such a big deal, you know? And, like, charge is pure money with Casada. Even if you
he's doing water. Okay, so he's doing military water. Does Kingsley have another Fury? If Kingsley has another Fury here, that could just swing the game. It doesn't look like he... Oh, he might because he's...
He's defending.
Well, he could defend and Fury...
No, there's a pass.
Okay. He just doesn't want to lose the honor because he is at 7 right now. I would say it's also not wrong to defend here if you have Fury, because then a conflict character doesn't beat you because you have favor.
Oh, I understand why he defended, because that had 0 fate.
Oh, yep, Water Ring too. So he's gonna ready Shuichi here.
And this will be a military attack back with 2 characters.
The initiate can honor to 3. Swordsmith plus favor puts him to 5. Shuichi plus box is 6. So Kingsley does need to play a card.
And this turn in particular shows why Casada's not as good as a lot of people hype him up to be. Because all that Kingsley basically had to feed Casada was his stronghold this game.
I think Casada's real strength is the fact that he just has insane stats.
Yeah, no, like so many people rush to Cloud the Mind Casada, and I'm happy when they do it.
Absolutely.
His ability is...
Oh, it depends on the clan. There are some clans and some builds that are just so event heavy because the Dragon player is very attachment heavy right now. it is play. You can pretty easily play around it. But some like Crane, Scorpion, like they can sometimes find Kasada really annoying because they don't have strongholds that can be used to feed Kasada.
Yeah, well, Scorpion do.
Kind of like not always.
Yeah, well, I find that the Scorpion are pretty good at getting themselves low on honor.
That's fair. That's fair. Kingsley has passed his conflict opportunity. He's going to keep the favor.
Yes, because of the 2 glory on Initiate.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to see an activation of Mannequin. So we're just going into the next turn. So, basically, Cody traded 2 cards and Shameful Display for Restoration of Balance. I think I think that's not a win, but I think Crab is okay right now. The main issue here is this coverted Raitsugu.
Yeah. I mean, if Cody has a way of Crab here... No, never mind. He has the Initiate and stuff out.
Yeah. The real question is...
I could have seen an Assassinate way of Crab if he only had the Swordsmith out. But...
Well, he would have had the Assassinate in conflict.
Right.
So we have 2 Fate on the Fire Ring and the Air Ring right now.
And there's Nagasha Sumiko with favor.
Yep,
So this game
and a dupes. So he probably buys Doomed. He can buy Doomed, Sumiko with 1 or 2, and then pitch the dupe.
This is not going in Crab's favor this turn. It's going to turn. Sumiko is so good against Crab because Crab has 0 offensive bows right now.
Yep. Crab has no way. Like in the say for instance in the Dragon Mirror, Sumiko's really weak to Miyamoto's Fury. However, in this matchup, she just gets to keep attacking.
Yeah, she wins. She wins this if you have favor. Pretty much, usually.
Yeah, and if you the best thing to do is if you throw a Tattooed Wanderer on Sumiko, you just get to like waltz in at everywhere. Shuichi having covert here is very important. Oh no, he doesn't have covert anymore. He's clouded. Yep. So Cody buys Breaker.
And I know I'm also curious why Cody's always just bidding 3 in this situation.
You think you should go? You think you should go lower or higher?
Well, higher just gives the dragon more chances of getting his better cards out.
So Kingsley plays Sumiko with 1. He's gonna pitch Sumiko to get.
I could have seen I think it would have been better to do a turn 1-5 than turn 2-1 instead of these 3-3.
Buying this Yusuke with no holding feels really bad. Although he could have a rebuild.
Yeah, he probably has a rebuild for Shuichi.
So
or
Kingsley passes
Void.
first. Kingsley just passes, leaving the Sumiko there. That Sumiko could be sitting on Feast or Famine.
Yeah, it's bait.
So
Most
Kingsley
likely.
bids 4, Cody bids 3 again. Kingsley just grabs an honor real quick to kind of get a little bit higher. He was at 5, and he has this Dishonor Raitsugu, so he's just staying safe. Swordsmith gets activated. Kingsley chooses.
Well, he has a choice.
Yeah, he didn't whiff, so he takes Ornate Fan. I would not be surprised if the Sumiko is sitting on top of Shameful or Feast or Famine.
It's one or the other. Either way, it's trying to bait him over there. And it's probably going to work unless he gets to void Sumiko out.
Yeah, he's not running Tetsubo either, so he can't Tetsubo her.
And this is why I prefer Tetsubo over Cloud the Mind.
I think Joe's running both. He had a Tetsubo and he had 2 Cloud the Mines.
Yeah, well, I think Tetsubo is not a card you play like more than 2 of.
Yeah, I agree. I when I play Tetsubo, I only play 2. It is unfortunately restricted randomly.
Well, I've never found restricted to be a problem in Crab, but the problem with Tetsubo is it is pretty expensive and already in a
Yeah, no. I was
expensive
just
conflict
commenting on the
deck.
fact that it just was randomly restricted. Like I found that out the hard way.
Oh, yeah.
I put it on a guy that had a couple fans, and I'm just like, oh, it's asking me to discard one.
So here you defend with Crisis Breaker, just so you can attack with Yusuke on one military, and basically force him not to defend.
He defends with everybody that he can because it's defend the wall. I think this is a mistake.
Yeah, no, I would let defend go here. Well, I mean, I would defend with the Crisis Breaker because you can
there you go.
lose. Yeah.
No defense. Kingsley does have Pathfinder's Blade on this right Sugu also, so he's protected from Talisman moving the meditations.
Yeah, no, Kingsley hit the one province that he wanted to hit here.
I mean, it doesn't matter what province he hits. He has Pathfinder's Blade.
Yeah. Alright, there's the pass, just letting him take it. Sumiko's gonna stay standing.
Kingsley's gonna void Kasada here.
Though, Cody will be able to clear back on a 2 Fate Ring, which is important.
It probably goes fire, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would do fire on Sumiko, probably. There's reprieve.
And
I would not have played that reprieve until later, but there's a reprieve.
There are normal let goes.
Right, but it's still better to show your opponent, like, act like as if you don't have it right now, so your opponent isn't planning on Kasada staying around.
Cody just being like, I don't want to forget, I'm doing it now. So, you go fire, you could honor your breaker or dishonor Sumiko?
I would dishonor Sumiko, because she's almost guaranteed to always be in 2 conflicts.
That's fair. I wonder if Kingsley has his own reprieve for this right Sugu. He has 12 cards in his hand.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying. This matchup is ticking out of the favor of the crab.
If the crab player can see Karada District next turn and steal this Tattooed Wanderer if this Retsugu hangs around, I think it could turn around. The Tattooed Wanderer is the real issue here because he's just forcing. All right, here's the. No, he's going for it. Is it Feast or Famine?
And
if he hits Feast or Famine, it's incredibly bad. He takes the two fate off the breaker and puts it on Retsugu.
Yep. It's game over if it happens. I could also see an air here, probably, too. Going in with Suchi, so it's probably political. Or, well, he's debating between Suchi and Kasada, apparently.
This has to be a bait. Like, 99% a bait.
Yeah. Because, Kingsley could still... Yeah, there's Feast of Famine.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Kingsley gains a fate for Seeker of Fire. And now we are going to see the power of probably the best province in the game. Or one of the best provinces in the game.
And here also is a really fun use of Tetsubo, is you can Tetsubo your own characters. I've actually stopped a Future Famine doing that once.
Really? So well, you'd have to have them both in there, right?
Yeah, I had 2 characters. And
Luke is saying Way of the Crabs hacking Kasada. That would be a little loose, I would say. So this breaker is gonna die, and this Retsuga is gonna hang around. I mean, that's just, yeah.
No, he won. There's a break.
Oh, he was gonna win. It was a military attack with Kasada.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying there's no like bonsai on the opponent or anything like that.
Yeah. When they attack with a small guy, you have to do some crazy things. I've had conflicts where my opponent hit Feast or Famine, and then they use a challenger to hook one of my guys in and start buffing my guy up. And then I assassinated it. It was real dumb.
And that's pretty much GG for Crab at this point. Because he's going to lose the board to stacked Raguzzo and Sumiko.
He does get rid of this dupe, so that's like a small silver lining. If this Sumiko faceplants into Meditations, I think Krabs is still in it.
It was a bait. Like Cody should have seen that was a bait for not using it.
Oh, Cody here saying that he thought he could only take fate from participating. Yeah,
No,
this is what we like to say in RTFC moment, which is read the fucking card.
so many people. Like I remember when Feast or Famine was first. Like so many people thought it was crap because it said because they were assuming it said participating, but it doesn't. And I was trying to tell them it doesn't. They weren't listening. Yeah. Like even if Feast said, like I wish Feast said that you'd have to choose
Uh,
the fate to be moved to a participating character.
no, So Kingsley and I had. I think I have a better solution. I think Feast or Famine should have just been remove the fate. Like I actually think it's just you should remove the fate and that's it. You shouldn't transfer the fate.
I think the transfer of the fate is part of the theme, but if you're gonna do transfer the fate, also have a giant problem strength to it. You know. So
Sure,
your
sure,
opponent
sure.
doesn't
Kingsley,
accidentally
yeah.
break it. But like having, I wish it said one of the characters had to be participating in some form. Like whether that means that the character attacking has to have fate or the character defending has to have no fate.
Oh, sure. So you have to
But
so you have to defend
yeah.
with the character you want to put fate on. That's fair.
Yeah. That also means that like you can't put the fate on a stacked character because if you move in the stacked character, then it stops the breaking.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, I think this was just I think it was just an oversight, honestly. Like the fact that it made it through QA is pretty baffling. Okay, so we see Kingsley playing a fan on Sumiko and another Pathfinder's Blade, so he's even protected against meditations here. Yeah, it just
No, so Restoration or Balance I'm fine with hitting turn 1 because you don't bid 5 against Dragon turn 1. That's the mistake that a lot of people make.
It depends on what clan you're playing. Like there are some clans that just hitting resto on turn one's pretty bad. It's pretty insane. Eternal Mage, it also depends on the board state. Like some people will just buy like I've had a Shoju face plant Feast or Famine, and then I just win the game on the spot. I think Feast or Famine is just always good, is always a big deal if any of your characters have fate, because it's such a huge tempo swing. You can play around Restoration, Eternal. You can play around both of these cards realistically. It's just not. The problem is it's just not optimal to play around them. Like that's the problem.
Uh, Playing around Feast or Famine is a lot harder than playing around Restoration.
It is harder. It is harder, but like
you like when you're attacking against Dragon turn 1, you can go ahead and play your attachments before you attack and such. So you don't have to discard as many cards. Like you can play around Restoration pretty easy, but Feast or Famine, you have to have a favorable ground out, or you need a bonsai for your opponent, or
no. All Cody had to do was do a scouting attack.
yeah. Well, also scouting.
Yeah, Cody just decided to send 7 strength into a blind province. Like I mean, you have to do like a Paul attack with the Yusuke there or something, or like.
I mean, even if he did that, he saw that the swordsmith made an ornate fan, and that would have broken it still.
That's
like,
true. Look, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it is possible.
It's not as possible. That's why I think province strength up would be nice. Like that's Feast or Famine at 3 was definitely a mistake. It's way too easy.
Cody could have also seen the
bait.
bait. Cody could have also seen the bait. I mean.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. The bait didn't help here, but like if that was just a random like if all of his provinces had no characters. Like so and he just randomly hit that.
Sumiko policy debates the Crisis Breaker and sees Assassination Wayfinder. He had a Wayfinder.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then that was a complete mistake. Yeah.
That's so. All he had to do was Wayfinder, look at what was there, and be like, "Oh, I don't want to attack this."
Yep. That was a complete mistake on Cody if he had a Wayfinder in hand.
Which we see he did. Discards
takes out the assassination. Not the Way of the Crab.
Cody could Way of the Crab in Fade phase.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. You're just gonna Way of the Crab to the Yusuke and probably pull or
he could have a reprieve for the Doom Shigenja.
That's true. If he has that, then it's not as much of a mistake.
Because if he gives him the assassination, he can assassinate this Doom Shigenja in the conflict. And Kingsley wants to break here, so that next turn he can go for the win. Yeah. Look, this feels kind of a little bit like Tilt almost, where you
Yeah,
feel behind, and so you play loose basically. You
that's what I said when he ran into the restoration balance. He's having to play loose because he thinks he's behind,
That's fair.
which I almost agree with him when he attacked with it. Like I wasn't fully there, but like he was still in a winnable position. But
Yeah. No, I think a lot of players when they fall behind, they don't keep tight play, and they just keep. I did give credit. And the problem is that like you don't keep your tight play and you keep hemorrhaging percentage points. Like you're already down percentage points like to win the match, but like you just keep bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and like you'll just have no chance of winning if you don't continue playing tight. Eternal Mage, Cody cannot play Pathfinder's Blade. It is a seeker only card. I agree. It would help a lot in this matchup.
when you're playing against a clan who's playing Feast or Famine, you get a free 2 Pathfinder's Blade in your deck.
So Cody did win this conflict. So Kingsley did not break. Kingsley's gonna keep favor because Sumiko is so good once you have the favor. It's so hard to lose it because she just keeps standing. Oh yeah, I forgot Eternal Mage is Noman. yeah, no, yeah. No. Just add 2 PFPs to every deck for free. Lol. Might as well play with all the provinces face up too. That way you just know what you're attacking.
We wouldn't be surprised if a unicorn card came out and that was like a champion ability.
That'd be sick. I think that'd be sick.
Just like reveal all of your opponent's provinces.
Yeah, like
For,
super Wayfinder.
Yeah, like a 5-cost character. I could see that.
It doesn't even have to be a 5-cost character. Like a 4. I think like unicorns 4-cost characters are garbage.
Yeah, well, a 4-cost character would help, but I mean, like, I could see that being a champion ability.
That's fair. Well, I think Moto Juro is actually sick.
Yeah, Moto Juro is great, but like
Yeah.
the Ayuchi Daimyo, I could see that being
Super Saiyan Wayfinder because comments automatic.
Wayfinder XP.
Now the real question is, if this was Hearthstone, if this was like Hearthstone and these characters had sound effects, would he do the Goku scream? Yep, Cody is saying the tilt is real. He didn't gain the fate off of Manicure Garden, so that's the second fate he's missed. He missed the first one off Suichi.
And Dragon is now up for fate and has a better board and is in a position with Favor and Sumiko.
Cody is gonna get first attack, but I'm not sure it's gonna matter. Kingsley didn't get the third break that turn, which is important. I think Tenerum it would be like Wayfinder where you just look at it.
Oh, I would have loved if it did the on reveal effects to not trigger.
Oh, to not trigger?
Like to actually flip them face up.
It just flips them face up and not trigger. I don't think you can word it properly to do that. Yeah, because all of these provinces are on reveal, like Restoration of Balance. So.
Yeah, no, it could easily say reveal all of your opponent's provinces instead of look at.
And just like just accept what happens. That'd be sick.
Yep, and there's GG for Cody with that flop.
Yep. He can steal this Tattooed Wanderer.
Yeah, I don't think it'll help much here.
Come on, dude. Like, just the.
Yeah, he needs to defend is the thing, like, cause he's going stronghold this turn.
No. Well, sure. If he can stop the mill, so I guess you Paul attack at Manicure Garden, and then you can mill attack at the stronghold.
Yeah, probably. Oh, and also that would they could Eternal Mage. They could even have that be a seeker only card to work with what's it? The Chasing the Sun.
Your opponent cannot trigger reactions this turn. All right. Look, I wouldn't put it past Fantasy Flight. Like they have made some odd decisions. I think to be fair, I know a lot of people complaining about balance in this game, but I think this game is pretty close. Like I think the game is close.
Right now, like a lot of people like to laugh at Unicorn, but Unicorn is still in a position where they can win a tournament at this point.
I think
Like the,
I think I agree with Kingsley and like Kalimsha when they say that the main problem with Unicorn right now is that no one is playing them. Like the
yeah, no,
popularity of the clan is just not the same. Like there's so many people that are playing Scorpion. Like that's why Scorpion decks like keep evolving.
yeah, and like everyone joined the Unicorn bandwagon of when they saw the cards, they immediately thought these are pretty bad, and then didn't play them, and then like two people decided, you know what, let's try to play them, and it turned out that they're actually not the worst.
Luke commenting, this flop is where you concede in a casual game, but in a competitive game you play a few more minutes to be a good sport. Alright, so both players bid 2 for draw. I think Kingsley just has all he needs. He just doesn't want to get dishonored. What does Chasing the Sun do?
It's the one that moves. It's Talisman of the Sun for attack.
Oh yeah, you move to a different one.
Yeah. Which, I mean, a lot of people are saying that has no point of existing, but I don't think people realize that Pathfinder's Blade is really good.
So Chasing is the Seeker version of Talisman?
Yeah, except it's an event, so you can only trigger it once, which is an issue, and then also doing it on your opponent's cards, or a lot of people didn't like that. Which I think it's fine, again, if you have something like Pathfinder's Blade where you blank provinces.
The main issue is that when like currently the Keeper provinces, the Keeper province row is like who you'd want to do it against, but like a lot of the Seeker province rows are just really strong where you have to Pathfinder's Blade multiple things.
Yeah.
Noman
well, no, you can if you have the one cost dude.
Which guy?
Child of Plains, yeah, that's the name.
Oh yeah, Child of Plains. He's the guy that when he's attacking, he gets to look or something. Oh no, he gets the first reaction.
Yeah. See, like Unicorn has a lot of little tiny synergies that a lot of people don't look at because again, not a lot of people play Unicorn.
Looks like people are complaining. Why does it cost 1? Yeah, that's probably reasonable. It probably shouldn't cost 1.
Yeah, well, I'm saying in the future. It's a future card we're talking about. It doesn't matter if they're Keeper or Seeker right now.
We're operating on the future stack here.
Yeah, though we should probably get back to casting the game.
Okay, so we're seeing the attack here. Since Dragon knows that the other province is meditations, he just goes into meditations with 2 characters that don't have fate. Contesting the water ring to bow out Kasada. Cody does not defend with Kasada.
I mean, there's
Cloud Mine on the Vanguard Warrior, so now he can't Vanguard Warrior to give Kasada a fate to not be bowed.
Also, Cody should have probably used the storehouses earlier because he still had the manicure or the carotid for Yusuke.
Yep.
See, the top and bottom clans, like what most people will say is Dragon and Unicorn, like they're actually closer than usually any other game. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, a military attack next, which is going to be that giant Rizugutsu and Nina Dept, who's probably going to get attachment and bow Kasada. Unless... No, Kasada's going to get bowed from this water ring.
No,
so,
well, yeah, he's getting bowed from the water ring. Also, Cody has Karada District. Kasada can always get an attachment.
Yeah. But he's going to get bowed from the water ring, so Cody will have no defenders against Rigutsu and Nina Dept and Investigator.
The main issue, Soto, is that I don't think you can give Unicorn a realistic win percentage. The sample size is too small. Like I would need a larger sample size for unicorn. You would.
Also, Sotomatic, that is the win rate of core, not the win rate of what's right now. Like, the meta right now is a lot closer than what cores are.
We have I think like
win
2 or
rate
3
is.
Kotes coming up. I think after those are after those plus the Discord League, that should give us enough numbers where we can start making some arguments and we can start extrapolating some information. Yeah, league matches also the number, like what was the number of unicorns that were in the league?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying like Unicorn was doing so horribly at Worlds, but the thing is they still had one person, like, because none of them made it into, as a top, but they also only had 17 people show up.
Look,
Like, you can't say
look,
like
Soda, you can't take numbers off the Discord League as end all be all. The sample size is so small. Like even with a slightly large tournament, the sample size is very small. Like this is not statistics here. Like
yeah.
it's you can use it to kind of like bemoan stuff, but like if you want to make a real argument, you have to wait for the Kotes to happen, in Cork and in PAX, and then probably the one in Atlanta and the one in Houston, and maybe even the one in California. Once you have like 5, 6 big tournaments with the current rotation, then you can start making real extrapolation from data.
And again, you have to remember you have to normalize that data, like, because if 2 unicorns show up and none of them actually make it to the top,
So
that's still better than having 30 scorpions show up and having 1 make it to the top. You know.
what just happened? So it looks like
He's still an ornate fan using the Crota district.
we're seeing
Crab,
Way of the Crab. Okay.
which took out one of the characters, and we're still in a position where this might not break.
Well, so Luke, I'm not saying that unicorn aren't garbage. What I'm arguing is that I need strong players to play unicorn in competitive events. The thing is, because most strong players choose to play strong decks, and unicorn is perceived as weak, or the other decks are just perceived as stronger, they have already gravitated to X clan or whatever. So
And that's an assassination, by the way.
Oh, he did have he had the one of X assassination too. Yeah. Look,
This is game over.
yeah, I'm really sorry, Cody, that we're tangenting during your cast here, but I mean it feels like this game is over.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Cody, but you kind of lost at the beginning of this turn. The 3 holding flop was pretty bad.
Okay, I mean, like I understand that. Look, I'm just saying like I need strong players and I need more players. Like I need more information. Like if at the end of all the information, unicorn could still be garbage, and I would still accept it. Like I'm not even saying unicorn is great right now. I'm just saying I think they're not as bad as people are saying. Like
Yeah.
after the 6 and 6, like Moto Juro, the 2-drop they got, the lets them pass first. Like I think they can do. Satoshi's really strong in the deck.
Yeah, I think Unicorn is not. They're still probably 6th or 7th, but they're not.
Noman
Like, horrible.
Noman commenting that double. Oh yeah, he could triple. No, so, you can't triple skirmisher because Raitsugu has covert. Yeah, triple skirmisher does not work.
Yeah, double skirmisher, double rebuild. There you go.
Why do you need double rebuild?
Also, I would like to point out that when the stats sheet is mostly just random games on Jigoku, and I personally don't really take a lot of stock on what happens on your normal game on Jigoku.
Look, Soto, I'm not arguing that one clan is good or bad or whatever. I'm what you would classify as a spike. I'll literally play the best deck at a tournament. I have no ties to clan loyalty. If I'm given a chance to win a tournament, I'm going to give myself the best chance to win the tournament and play what I perceive as the best deck. I mean, there are other factors, like if there are multiple strong decks, I'll play one that I feel more comfortable playing, or one that I have the most practice on, etc. But I will not pick weak decks, because that's the type of player that I am. And I feel like a lot of other players do like that. Especially league games. League
Like,
games are like,
yeah,
people take a lot of pride in this league.
a lot of, and I will agree that the league games are a good showing of people. But there was what 3 unicorns right now, and like you
Well,
have to assume
how
that
many
one.
unicorns were in pods in Season 2 groups?
I know I had one, but that guy didn't show up for any games.
Yeah, like how many
So
unicorns
there's-
showed up and played games? So we have a 3-4, a 1-6. Those guys actually played. We got a 5-2 unicorn. So there's 2 unicorns that made it. We have another 1-6 unicorn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unicorns. That's it, 5. 5 out of, like, I don't know, 22 times 8.
Yeah, no, it's, and so you again.
5
That's why
out
I
of
was saying,
176.
yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier about having to normalize data. Is one of those people did pretty good, 1 out of 4. So that was still, 25% of those were good, and then also the 1 out of 6. Did you make sure that they didn't actually play, or was that just losses they got because they didn't play?
The 5 people that I counted were people who finished all their matches. They weren't crossed out.
All right.
No, man. So you can make statements about win rates. The thing is, statistically, it doesn't mean much because the sample size is too small. Like, if I beat Sideshow here 6 times out of 10, I have a 60% win rate over Sideshow. That is a statistical fact. However, it doesn't mean much.
Yeah, if we played 100 games and you beat me in 60 of those games,
Yeah, like then.
yeah.
Yeah. No one's like, you just need to make weak enough statements. I agree. I mean, look, Soto, if I could get a sample size of 1,000,000 games, I would love that. That would be real hard statistical evidence.
Well, 1,000,000 games of high quality players because this is still a new game.
Sure.
Not all of us have been playing every day.
What is Cody trying to do here?
He's doing math, is what he said in chat.
Yeah, but, like, does he think he can win?
I mean, he might be able to live this turn.
I think he just dies on military. So you can just defend with Sumiko here, and then you can cover. Oh no, you can't cover past the skirmisher. So you can just defend with Raitsugu.
Yeah, no, I think most people in general will agree. Anyone who's not on the Discord a lot is usually like of lower quality on average.
Yeah, from what I've heard, a lot of people claim that basically, I'm bad feels bad, man. Look, Neff, we all love you still.
Like I have won my local tournament of 24 people 3 times now in a row, and I still didn't make it to the top cut. Like I may be really good in my local area, but
also there's just not a lot. There's not a lot of strong like, we need multiple seasons of the Discord Cup to really start getting who the strong players are. Because, like, doing well in one season of the Discord Cup is really nice. But if you just flame out the next couple seasons, like, that's just, like, there is a such thing as running hot or getting lucky. Like, if you spike one tournament and then you just never do well again, like, are you a great player then? Like...
Yeah. Well, like, I could have even made it to the top technically because I wasn't available the first, so I didn't submit a deck list for the wild card.
Yeah,
I did technically get a wild card. Oh yeah, and that's completely true, Bitmetal, because I was in here with Mr. Playing Dragon, which ended up being the best deck, and he went 7-0.
You can be seated in unfavorable groups, sure, but you still have a chance to make... The system to make the cup in this is very, very favorable. Like, it's very lenient. Yeah, look, like, I understand that, but, like, I feel like you're a strong enough player to make at least 4th. You know what I mean? Like, all you have to do is make fourth. And then once you're in the wild card, I feel like you're a strong enough player to beat out the other wild card players. Like, and if the wild card stays as unpopular as it is, whoa, oh yeah, you're a mod now, Luke, because I like you. Because you're a good dude. You were in my preseason group. It was really funny. So my preseason group had Bill and Luke in it, and I didn't know who they were because I had just joined the server. And as I found out later, they were the finalists of the previous Discord Cup.
Yeah, I I in general I don't like the pod system that much. I would have preferred a structured match.
I think it's too
like
many.
actual,
I think there's too many people.
like yeah, there's too many people to do it. But even if it is like just put everyone down in a list and then you just play the 5 people like down the list. But I mean,
So,
I guess
real quick, just to go back to the game. So we saw a no defense by Kingsley on the skirmisher attack, a charge Yuruma to block, and now we see a full attack at rally. Kingsley has Pathfinder's Blade, so whatever math Cody is doing might not matter.
yeah, it probably won't matter unless he somehow can play Dubanzai's this conflict.
Realistically, he wants him to swap. I think Kingsley has more political here. He has 3, 9, 10,
Yeah, no,
11,
Kingsley has
12,
more political.
versus 1, 5, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's 12 to 11. Alright, there you go.
Yep, there's GG.
Yep. No, man, I think Scorpion is very strong against bad players. I think Scorpion definitely punished. I think Scorpion really kind of...
Scorpion and Crab are both the clans that are best against someone who doesn't know what they do.
I would agree. Okay, let's go ahead and get Kingsley in here for an interview.
Right.
Fortunately, because I've been casting with him, I can just add him. I'm not even going to ask him if he wants to interview. He's interviewing.
Alright, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we're on here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man? I didn't even ask if you wanted to interview, because I know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So that was obviously congratulations on your victory. That was a really strong draw. Did you feel like did you have did you have 2 let goes in your opening, or did you have all 3?
I had 1 let go in my opening 4, and I mulliganed. I think I had let go, Wanderer, Kitsuki's Method, and Cloud the Mind. So I mulliganed Cloud the Mind and Kitsuki's Method.
Yeah.
Looking to, because Wanderer is great in this matchup because he can be played to counter potential way the Crab plays, and also just the covert can be great. And
which we saw, like this Raitsugu just waltzed past everybody multiple times.
Yeah, exactly. His Kasada was really suppressed by that covert a lot of the time. And then the let go is amazing. You absolutely want it. It's the #1 card. And I was looking at these other buffs, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to play these. Or, I will get a chance to play them, but I don't know how impactful they'll be. I had seen my opening flop, did not have a Shigenja, so I believe. So I think Cloud was not something I could
Let me
play.
just double check. You had Mendicant, Initiate, Palace, Raitsugu, so correct. No.
Yeah, that's right. So I mulliganed Cloud because I couldn't immediately play it, and I mulliganed Kitsuki's for not being incredibly impactful. And I got another let go in that mulligan, and then I was bidding pretty heavy because I saw my opponent did not have Watch Commander, so then I was able to draw the 3rd let go, I believe, after the second 5 bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, let go is a strong card, as we saw.
And it was really impactful on those spyglasses because your opponent just didn't want to didn't want to bid higher, so he hitting the spyglasses was really impactful.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that a lot of the time in this situation, what you do is you adjust your bid based on whether or not you have spyglass.
Yeah, I would agree.
So if someone bids low because they have spyglass and then you discard their spyglass, they could find themselves in big trouble.
Well, I find, as I was trying to tell him, that in Dragon versus Crab, Dragon has a much weaker conflict versus the Dragon conflict deck. So you can't really you can't afford to do the bid 5 to bid 5 constantly. But you need cards. So Spyglass is a really important card in the
it's an
Dragon
interesting
versus Crab
situation. The Crab conflict deck has some cards that are more immediately impactful when they go off, but they're often more conditional. And the Dragon conflict deck is like filled with numbers.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
the Dragon Conflict deck, I think everyone will agree, is probably the best one right now. Maybe some will say Scorpion, but
Yeah, I think conflict, no doubt.
Uh, so just there's a couple of things. So your opponent played he had a Wayfinder, but he still face planted into Feast or Famine.
and he so yeah, what do you think about Feast or Famine? Let's get that too. If we haven't already asked.
We discussed this in the chat. My opponent actually didn't realize that Feast or Famine did not affect.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. I need to tell Cody in Crab Chat to RTFC.
Yeah, so Feast or Famine can. So he attacked knowing it could be Feast or Famine, but he did not realize that Feast or Famine can hit people outside the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So that was why I was able to get that fate, because I believe he had thought that it, like Meditations, it only hit characters that were actually attacking.
Yeah.
And that I would be unable to use it on Quesada, who was the only attacker.
Yep, I think every single person made that. The week that it got released, I think every single person made that mistake, and then they learned.
Well,
Yeah.
see, if it were like that, then it would be a balanced card, but unluckily, it is not.
No, I think you mean luckily, Davis. Like it's pretty it's pretty fortunate that it does what it does.
Let's see, it's fortunate for the Dragon Clan, I'll say.
It's fortunate for the Lion Clan too. Luke was bemoaning Feast or Famine because that's how he lost his cup match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's brutal.
I think the person that has the fate move to it should be participating. That's my nerf for it.
Oh, that would be a really hard nerf, though.
I mean, it would stop your Super Voltron from being Feast or Famine.
Honestly, with that version of the card, I might legitimately play Meditations over it.
I can see that.
Because one of the main appeals to me of Feast or Famine is that the character that is... You can just ignore it and just let them break it. And if you have to put a character in order to be able to benefit from it... I mean, in this situation, it would still be disruptive because you can put in, Swordsmith, and that's good. But it's not... There are a lot of situations where you don't want to defend at all, because if you defend, you'll stop them from breaking.
Right, but
But, that would also probably be more balanced than the current one, which is insane.
yeah.
The only play I have a question for you, Davis, is so the turn you played. So it was really funny. So the moment you didn't pitch your dupe Sumiko, Sideshow and I immediately called that as a bait. So I said it was Feast or Famine, and then I said it could potentially be Shameful, but I almost was sure it was Feast or Famine. Did you do that as a bait?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that the...
If ever I see a duplicate not bought, it's immediately don't go to that province.
Yeah, so I did that on purpose. But the other thing is, it was also kind of what I wanted to do fate management-wise, because I thought that if I played Sumiko 2 Fate, he might just immediately pass. But if I played Sumiko 1 Fate, he would probably play a guy, and then instead of playing the second Sumiko, I would pass and kind of surprise him.
Did you have first attack that conflict?
First attack, I don't remember. I did have 2 reprieves in hand that turn also. So
okay. That's what I was
really
wondering. I was wondering because if you got voided, I was just making sure.
Yeah, no, I was quite confident that I would be able to stay on the field.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah. It actually didn't look that good for you on turn 1. You had a pretty lackluster turn 1.
Yeah, so actually, the weird thing is I consider myself to have been somewhat up after turn 1.
I said that you guys were even, because you were about even on cards. You were down slightly on honor. You were up to like 2 cards, down 3 honor, and he had an honored Shuichi versus your dishonored Raitsugu.
And while he was saying that after the turn 1 dynasty, or turn 2 dynasty, I was starting to say it's slightly in your favor.
Turn 2 dynasty, the problem was that Cody just bought Quesada with 2 charges in his hand.
Yeah, when he had 2 charges in his hand.
If he buys Crisis Breaker and the Shrujusiki there, he has a stronger board, and he can charge Quesada and Iron Mine it.
I did counterplay the charge though, so it wasn't entirely relevant.
That's true. You did political attack multiple times.
Even if he, the thing is, even if you don't get to Iron Mines your Quesada when you charge him, it's still saving you forfeit.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good deal. Yeah, that was an interesting situation. He did also have the restoration faceplant, which always hurts.
It kind of did. I mean, I would be okay breaking restoration. If you told me I could discard 2 cards to break restoration, I think a lot of players would take that.
Yeah, but he was already, with me having so many cards, it's like every single card counts a lot.
That's fair.
In particular, I think he discarded his second charge, which then...
He discarded... let's see. He discarded a fan and a charge.
Yeah, and then I forget if it was an Earthring or a policy debate that took his other charge, but it meant that he couldn't get the Crisis Breaker out that turn, which I think was something he had been considering.
Yep. He also missed. Your opponent missed a couple of Fate from Manicure Gardens.
Yeah,
and
he missed a Shuichi trigger on turn 1
yeah,
also.
on turn 1 that was really important because if he had had that extra Fate, he could have played Yasuki with 1 and Breaker with 2.
Oh, yeah, that would be a strong.
And he would have had
be a
Iron Mine in
strong
play
play.
as a holding for Shuichi and his
And he could have still
Yasuki.
charged the Kasada.
Yep.
Is the thing. Like, that's why charging Kasada is such a big deal, even if you're not saving him.
Yeah, charging Kasada is pretty hype. Also, I honestly don't find that Kasada does all that much in this matchup.
yeah,
No.
I agree.
I try to tell people so much that Kasada is not an end-all be-all champion. Like, a lot of people try to say Kasada is one of the best champions, and I really disagree.
All right.
I
Here,
got a lot of flack in my initial card reviews for saying that Kasada was, in my opinion, one of the overall worst champions. Not the worst, but in contention for the worst.
I mean,
kind of on the
I think
bottom
Shinja
tier.
Altansarna is
Yeah, obviously. She's always going to be the worst because she was nerfed pretty hard.
Oh, really?
I think Alton Sarnai, at the time I wasn't sure whether or not there was some unknown unicorn deck, and Alton Sarnai is, at least in theory, a potential blowout card. So I thought, she's probably the worst, but maybe she's tight. And it turned out, nope, she's the worst.
Yes, Soto, the reason Kasada isn't the worst is because his stats are so insane.
Yeah, no. He's usually still a 5-cost 7/2, though. Sometimes your opponent has to discard a card. Like,
The number 7 is a big number.
yeah.
Okay, so real quick, while we have the three of us here, I'm gonna ask, who do you think the best champion is? Since we already did the worst champion.
I would say Shoju.
I would actually say Yokuni at this phase. I used to think Shoju was the best, but Shoju seems quite vulnerable to being counterplayed by just people not.
Yeah, well, against Crab, as the view of a Crab, Shoju is by far the worst.
I would say I would agree with Kingsley after playing with Yokuni enough. And the reason I actually used to think it was Shoju too. The reason I don't think it's Shoju anymore is because the way the Scorpions have built their deck, they've moved away from these Shoju decks where they're playing Shoju with multiple Fate and like poisoning your guys with like Fiery Madness and Sinister Soshis.
Yeah.
People just don't defend against Shoju. They're like, okay, man, you get a break.
Yeah.
It's ironic actually because in some ways Kasada is better than Shoju now, because often people just don't defend against Kasada and let him break mill. And Shoju is the same, except his ability doesn't do anything if people don't fight him, and Kasada's ability at least still sometimes does something.
Yeah.
That said, Shoju has other advantages. Shoju has a 3 instead of a 2 on his other stat. Shoju is a quarter.
Yeah, and he has an important trait because Bushi has no support right now.
Yeah.
There's Bayona. There's some other Lion card that I forget.
I mean, like,
outside of
For Greater
Lion.
Glory.
Yeah, outside of For Greater Glory and Route, nothing really likes the Bushi
Right in
keyboard.
the streets. Right in the streets.
Yeah, Rise in the Streets is a good one,
I've
but
never seen Right in the Streets work.
yeah, exactly. It's rarely happens.
I've seen people
come
play
on,
their
man.
deck. I've never seen them actually get a chance to use it.
So the
What?
so if we're going to go with the best 5 drops, I would still say you, Jockey. Like he
I
wasn't.
think that card. I think that
you
card's terrible.
heretic.
Yeah, I think that
I
card's
think
terrible.
Yujiaki is an actively bad card, and I think putting him in your deck makes it much worse.
I agree.
See, as much as like a lot of people say that, if his effect goes off, he still usually wins the game.
Oh.
Like if you can play him for
Yeah,
Greater Glory,
yes and no. I mean, I've
Conflict.
seen people flip into just like ones, and then like if you don't have the Forgetter Glory, it's just not that big of a deal.
No. Yeah. So if his effect goes off and you for Greater Glory, it can be absolutely a giant blowout, one of the biggest blowouts in the game. But it requires a bunch of things to go right, and Lion is bad at taking the favor. And additionally, Lion wants to play a lower cost curve, in my opinion. And like, I don't think you cut Totori for him.
I'm
also-
kind of on that.
Also, he can just get
Cloud
Cloud Minded. Like that's the other thing.
Yeah.
I'm a big Yujiaki skeptic. I thought he was insane when he was first previewed. I was like, oh man, this card's broken. Actually, there was someone who had, I forget what had happened, but someone showed me a picture of like the card having leaked while at Worlds. Someone had posted like a leak of it online.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And as I was spectating one of the games at Worlds, someone showed me this on their phone, and I was like, whoa, But at the time, it was like one of those like very dubious looking leaks. I was like, I don't know if that's real, dude. That looks like a crazy card, man. It looks OP.
Yeah, no, think it was real, and then they announced it, and I was a little worried.
I think Ujiaki is one of those cards that on paper looks insane, and in practice is not the same.
His effect is insane.
It is.
But
It is.
enabling it is hard.
It's really funny. So out of him, Yoshi, and Sumiko, I think everyone agrees that Sumiko is the best one.
Oh yeah, no, Sumiko is pretty good. Like she's definitely a win more card, but she is so much more win more.
I don't even think she's a win more card. Like it's not that hard to just get favor for a turn, and then once you have favor, she wins herself the favor because she stands.
Yeah.
The tight thing about Sumiko is Yoshi and Ujiaki have kind of this anti-synergy where they lose the favor, and usually it wins you the conflict that they're in. But that's like +1 for the glory count, and then you lose 1 for not having it to win ties.
Yeah.
So it's like they kind of take their own ability away from themselves sometimes, whereas Sumiko not only benefits from having the favor, she helps you keep the favor because she's often still standing at the end of everything, and even if not, she fought in a bunch of conflicts.
I'm really surprised what cards say discard favor and what don't, because Sumiko feels like she should have said like discard favor to not bow.
To not bow.
I could see. I think it would be very interesting if Sumiko had a general reaction or interrupt that prevented her from bowing or stood her back up at the cost of exhausting a favor, but it wasn't for conflict resolution, so she could dodge Miyamoto's or whatever. That would be a pretty interesting card to me. I think if you had to bow to stand up after one conflict, she would. If you had to discard the favor to stand up after one conflict, and it was only conflict resolution, I don't know that would be so worth it.
Yeah, I think she would just be a bad witch hunter then.
But there's ways that you could make it better, like increasing stats with that version of the ability.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we got Itinerant Philosopher, the Dragon Mirror Breaker.
Kalimsha was telling me that Itinerant Philosopher is actually a good card to put in your dragon deck just for when you fight another dragon. And,
yeah, it's the Mirror Breaker.
You know, maybe if you get the favor, there is the anti-synergy with Sumiko to consider, which is unfortunate, but it is real strong in that mirror, as long as you don't get clouded or killed.
Alright, so looking at the bracket, you are actually going to be playing against another match that's going to be happening today, one that we might be casting.
Aren't we casting that match in like an hour or something?
No, we're casting Bill vs. Soto in an hour.
Oh, my bad.
And then we're going to do either Jeremy vs. Widwin or Heinzel vs. Neff. I have to figure out who's going to be available first. Well, you will be playing the winner of Heinzel and Neff, so...
Yeah, that's right.
We shall see. I think I know where you stand. I think you'd rather play against Crane.
Yeah, I think I would rather play against Crane than Scorpion. I think that Scorpion is. I don't think it's a disadvantaged matchup, but I think it's a pretty tight matchup. I think that Crane is usually one of the easier matchups for Dragon, to be honest.
I also think you want to play against this Crane player. So this is the Crane player that beat Joe, and it is a Phoenix Splash Crane.
Yeah, it's 3 against the waves.
It's 3 against the waves and 2 and
I will
2
say,
display of power.
Against the waves is pretty hype against Dragon because
it is.
And Doomed are both Shigensha.
So Swordsmith.
It always really amazed me that like cards like Miyamoto's Fury and Against the Waves only cost 1 because they're pretty much very little restriction, 1 cost ballot character.
The thing that amazes me as well is that Miyamoto's is only 2 influence, and I think Against the Waves is actually 1 influence.
Yeah,
Against the
Waves
Waves
is 1
is
influence.
Back in the day, at Worlds, Dragon Phoenix was the deck that a lot of people were on, and that is such a stupid mirror match.
Oh, it's standing and bowing and standing and bowing?
I played a Dragon Phoenix or Phoenix Splash with like because a Swordsmith is also a Shigenja, and it's pretty dumb.
We had
so display of power is really weird, distorting in that matchup, and then additionally the Against the Waves wars are just goofy.
So real quick, since we're talking about Shugenja, so Nix and I were having a conversation last night. People were talking about who they thought the best Shugenja were. And people were talking about like Hayate and stuff, and Nix and I were just like, I don't even think they're in the top 3. So, off the top of your head, what do you think top 3 Shugenja are?
Top 3 Shugenja that are best in the game. Okay, so
just best in the game. Like doesn't matter what clan, like just their effect.
So Spirit Collar is up there.
Okay.
Spirit Collar, man, this is actually super hard.
Spirit Collar, I would say Doom Shugenja.
Spirit Collar, Witch Hunter, Doomed, maybe.
Yeah. somewhere around there.
But like Yokuni's super hype and Swordsmith is super hype. Like there are a lot of good options.
Yeah, my list was Doom, Spirit Caller, Witch Hunter. Nix's was Swordsmith, Doomed, and Spirit Caller, and then he also said that Yokuni is probably he has Yokuni and Witch Hunter at 4 and 5.
Yeah, and I would say
I think Yokuni and Witch Hunter would be 4 and 5.
I think
Swordsmith would be 4 and 5 for me.
Yeah. Prodigy is also really up there. Prodigy of the Waves.
Oh, Prodigy is probably above Swordsmith, honestly.
And then also...
Yeah, Soto, that's what I found funny, is that out of the top 5, 3 of them were the Dragon Shugensha.
Yeah, and also Wayfinder. Wayfinder's kind of a sleeper with that.
Wayfinder's
that's
sick.
true. Wayfinder's pretty tight, though. Wayfinder is a little less tight than it used to be because some decks now have like every single province is something that you don't want to see. Like Wayfinder used to be better because you could find like kind of the weak point in their defenses.
Yeah,
And
Wayfinder's use is going to be very weird as stronger provinces get out because you no longer have a weak point in defense, but you also want to see Feast or Famine.
Yeah.
You know?
With Dragon, it's like it used to be, Wayfinder is actually really annoying because it can like find their rally to the cause or whatever. But now there's not exactly a weak point. Manicured Garden is kind of the weak point.
Yeah, Manicured Garden is the actual worst province to attack or to have for Dragon, and I'm okay with them. I'm okay with them going back over and over again.
Yeah, at this point, I think air is the weak point for most people, because you trade out water if you're Seeker, or it goes under your box.
Yeah, so I think that for Keeper clans, the traditional weak point is the water province, and for Seeker clans, the weak point is, I don't know. I think the air provinces are still really good.
Yeah, I think it's weak. I think it's weak in quotation marks.
Yeah, if for some reason you're playing Public Forum in your row, then I would say it's that. But
yeah, I actually used to play Public Forum, but I swapped it onto Manicured Garden specifically because I was often finding that people could just farm on Public Forum.
Yep.
Public Forum is 2 free rings. I don't like it. Helps if you're playing Lion and you're wanting to do the 1v1 province trading, but that's the only time I would ever see myself playing Public Forum.
The other issue with Public Forum is that in a world of Pathfinder's Blade, whenever the player wants to break it in one go, they can.
Yeah, it's quite. I was actually get this. This is so weird. I was actually considering playing Public Forum as a special tactic for the Dragon Mirror, in order to get people to waste their Pathfinder's Blade on.
Oh, on Public Forum? I would just be like, nope, I'm just going to attack this twice.
I think that is wise, but in practice I've never seen anyone do it while I was testing Public Forum.
That's fair. I was
thinking, this could be a good bait.
Prior to your game, I was playing a game on Jigoku just to play the new stuff we were testing, like the Magistrate, and
yes.
My opponent had Public Forum as a Dragon Mirror, and I attacked it and broke it, and then he flipped it face down with Yuruma, and I could have very easily Pathfinder's Bladed it, and I'm like, nope, I'm just going to keep attacking this Public Forum.
Yeah, no, you might as well. It's free.
And then I just built up too big of a board state.
Yep, ringer fights are pretty good.
It's the same problem with, what's it called? With why Rally was a horrible...
Or Rally in your row?
Yeah, because it's just a free ring.
I do put Rally in my row versus Lion only. I put Shameful into HQ.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Because if they do their big, like, I'm going to blow them up, I'm going to hit for greater glory, and then it's Rally, it just, like, immediately ruins their turn. Unless they got that Unicorn Splash for captive audience.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is not unheard of, but even so, they might get their Berserker thrown out of the conflict and that sort of thing.
So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream here.
Oh yeah, can I say one more thing that's actually about the matchup?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I personally am not. I think a lot of people have been dropping Watch Commander recently from Crab. I'll personally say that I think that's not so good. In this game,
I can defend that. Let me defend that for a second. Is Dragon's the one time you want Watch Commander, and maybe Scorpion.
Okay. Yeah, if it's just that I'm playing, I happen to play the clan where it is really good, and I'm like, you guys are crazy, but it's bad in other matchups, I'll give you that. No problem. But yeah, in this game, I was able to bid much more aggressively than I would be able to safely do against a crab that was playing 3 watch commanders.
Yes, because the thing about watch commanders, you have to ask if overall against every single clan, what is the card that watch commander is better than what card you would take out?
Yeah.
And there's not really a card there right now.
Oh, come on, policy debate.
Yeah, obviously policy debate needs to be taken out. Obviously.
No, I'm not joking. I think policy debate's a bad card for crab.
I only play political buffs, so I find that it's quite good.
Okay, that's fair.
But the thing that I like, if you're playing intimidating Kia other than Stoic Magistrate, which I'm about there, I would say you probably want to go ahead and try to find a way to slot in a few Watch Commanders. But Watch Commander on itself with no other help doesn't do enough to stop a high bid.
I should publish my crab list at some point because I think it's a little unusual compared to some of the crab lists that I've been seeing in this tournament.
What you should do is
that a lot of these players probably have more experience on crab than me, so they may have better knowledge. But I'd also be interested to see just how people think this other approach.
You should join Crab Chat for a couple days and talk to Joe and Spectre and them.
I do want to say another thing.
It would be a scandal.
Is at the start of this this league is when Joe published his list, and so a lot of crabs kind of flocked to it. So you'll notice that a lot of lists are similar because that was Joe's first list he published.
Oh, is that thing where like people started playing 2x Cloud the Mind and so on?
Yeah, well, that was his second list, and I think that came out right before you had to submit your decks. So, again, the standard for crab is still being made somewhat, and so a lot of people are flocking to what they think is the next standard.
Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because we have Bill versus Soto in an hour. I will be putting the stream back on at 10:50 Eastern Standard Time. Bill versus Soto will happen at 11. And then we got more games after that, so if people tuned in for games today, there will be a lot of them.
Yeah, let's get some games.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do something other than talk about L5R for an hour. I'll talk to you guys later.
I'm going to try to get some sleep. That's a rare commodity these days. But...
Yep.
Alright, see you guys.
See you guys.